Hello, traveler. You couldn't have come at a better time. The Adventurers Guild has received a new commission, but it's a little complicated. We've struggled to find the right candidate for the job. I'll get straight to the point. The client is a distinctive musician from Liyue. She's in possession of a temporary travel permit that's about to expire, and is looking for someone familiar with the process to help her renew it and avoid deportation.
Hey! Wipe that disappointed look off your face! Imagine if you were in that situation! Huh. A distinctive female musician from Liyue? Sounds familiar. Paimon knows!
Oh? Is she a friend of yours? She headed for the Tenryou Commission after submitting her request. You should be able to find her there. I hear that the Commission has been very busy recently, so they probably won't be able to help her.
If it's who Paimon thinks it is, she's probably introducing the Tenryou Commission to some sweet riffs right now! But doesn't everyone love rock and roll? We should probably get over there before she gets arrested for public disorder. So it is Nyxienx! Ha! Paimon's intuition prevails again!
Huh? Well, I'll be! Paimon, Traveler, what are you two doing here? I never thought I'd run into familiar faces so far from home. Well, if you're here for a performance, I'm afraid I gotta disappoint you. It's a long story. Have you heard of the Iridescence Tour? Well, it's okay if you haven't. I didn't hear about it until just recently. Oh, the more I think about it, this whole thing was weird from the get-go. The organizers told me it was a music festival from Fontaine that was famous throughout Tibet, but it seemed like nobody in Liyue had ever heard of it before. There was a guy standing on the side of the road calling out like he was selling sunsettias or something. I only inquired because I felt bad for him.
Aw, that was nice of you.
Well, anyway, he showed me a ton of material. The Iridescence Tour is a big deal over in Fontaine. I heard that getting stage time means your music might start to be heard far and wide.
Wow, you'd be famous overnight if you were up there.
You think so? Oh, me too. I want as many folks as possible to hear my music. That's why I'm so set on attending the festival. This year's Iridescence Tour is being held here in Inazuma. I've been honing a bunch of new songs since I signed up. I even asked Beto to ferry me out here ahead of time to scout the place out and make sure everything goes perfect. Xiangli made me up a special packed lunch to wish me well, but the organizers, they ran into trouble out on the ocean. They can't make it. They even got fishing boats to send a message to Inazuma so the authorities could start spreading the word. The Iridescence Tour is canceled. Oh, how can they just cancel it like that? I come here to perform, and they tell me this after I arrive? Now there's no way of getting the travel permit that the organizers arranged for me, and my temporary travel permit here is about to expire. No, things couldn't have gone much worse.
Seems like no one was more excited than you about performing at the festival. Why should you get the short end of the stick? Oh, it's not fair.
It ain't always easy being a musician. Well, shucks, enough complaining. This ain't the first time I wasn't able to perform. Time to move on.
Wow, you sure cheered up quick.
If you want to play rock and roll for a living, you gotta be tenacious. That's why I sprang into action. I submitted a request at the Adventurers Guild and headed straight to the Tenryou Commission to see what else I could find out. However, I've been standing here for ages already. I'm not sure what's keeping those Tenryou Commission samurai so busy that they don't even have time to say hi.
How dare they? Paimon bets they're just goofing off.
It's fine. Stuff like this is bound to happen when you step onto unfamiliar shores. Hey, Traveler. Beto told me you've been at Inazuma for a while now. You must know how to get things done around here, right? Think you can help me out? Now we're talking. If you can get my permit straightened out, I'll write you a killer tune as a token of my heartfelt gratitude.
You again? I thought I told you we're busy already. You'll have to wait.
Sorry, fellas. Perhaps my agent here can explain.
Madame Kujo-Sara? Oh, you must be the traveler. Is this outsider girl a friend of yours?
Sure is. She got stood up and now she's stuck here, so she needs to extend her travel permit. Come on, what kind of impression are you guys creating for visitors here?
Please, don't be mistaken. We're not purposely delaying anything. Something big happened recently, and the Tenryu Commission is spread thin. We don't have the resources right now. The reason this young lady is still in the queue isn't because she came later than anyone else. It's because there's no one free to take care of smaller issues like travel permits.
Oh, what is this something big?
I can't tell you anymore. Madame Kujo-Sara is in the courtyard. Ask her yourself if you want to understand the situation.
So they really are busy.
Seems that way, but that's okay. They're just doing their job. Formations! Follow the vanguard and assemble outside the city.
Traveler. And who else do we have here? No harm done. What brings you to the Tenryu Commission headquarters all of a sudden? Is there trouble afoot? Because if there's anything I can help with, don't hesitate to ask.
Finally, someone who can call the shots.
I see. It's regrettable that your friend has run into such an unfortunate incident, especially after such a journey. The Tenryu Commission is experiencing a large turnover of personnel in very difficult circumstances. We really are short on people. I apologize for not having tended to your friend's request on time.
It's rare to see you guys struggling like this. What is it this time? Oh, yeah! We're just casually asking.
No one's to blame here. Seems I just arrived at a bad time.
Yeah! Why don't you tell us what kind of trouble you're facing, and we'll do our best to help. In return, maybe you could help Xinyan extend her travel permit.
We really could use the extra help, especially from capable individuals like yourselves. All right, here's the situation. Recently, a nameless domain has appeared in the Araumi region. Monsters with incredible strength have been pouring into the area.
But surely the Tenryu Commission are used to dealing with monsters.
The domain appeared quite unexpectedly, and we've come under serious pressure. I've already sent out scouts to investigate. Originally, I was planning to lead a force there myself, but an extended period on the front lines would leave the Tenryu Commission without oversight. It just didn't feel right.
Well, if you need folks who can fight, I'll wager we can certainly be of assistance. Ain't that right, Traveler?
Yeah! We do you a favor, and you do us a favor. Got it?
Jeez, are you really giving orders to a general, Paimon?
It's fine. I'm indebted to you. This really is the best solution at the moment. If it were anyone else, I'd have to refuse. But even the almighty Shogun has recognized your abilities, Traveler. I'm happy to assign this task to you.
Ooh, say now. Sounds like you've made quite a name for yourself in Inazuma. Oh, I'm getting to. Xiangling and the other folks are always saying you're destined for big things. Madame Kujo-Sara, where should we go next?
I'll take you over to the location now. I should warn you that I haven't been there myself yet, so I'm not sure how dangerous things could get. As a precaution, please bring sufficient combat equipment and supplies with you.
Can we write off the expenses?
Fair enough. I'll put in a request now.
Hold up. I remember there's a travel permit processing fee. Why don't you write that off, and I'll cover all our other expenses. It's nothing. Actually, Beto gave me a bag of Mora to spend before I even got off the ship. Seeing as I'm inconveniencing just about everyone, it's about time I had something to show for it. Why don't we just split it between us? It should cover equipment and supplies, no trouble.
Huh. You are a woman of method and integrity, I see.
No, don't mention it. But don't go forgetting about my permit now.
I will see to it personally. You have nothing to worry about.
Fantastic! Thank you, ma'am.
So it's agreed? All right, let's take care of this domain.
Sounds like a plan. Let's hit the road.
Ma'am, you're finally here. We were ambushed by monsters at the entrance as soon as we started to investigate. We were able to push most of them back into the domain, but some of them escaped to the southeast. Many of our troops were injured, so I decided to tend to them before issuing the order to pursue. Forgive me.
Southeast? Oh no, there'll be civilians along the way. This is urgent. We need to split up for now. I'll lead a team to pursue the monsters that got away. The situation here, I leave in your hands. I'm sure you don't need reminding, but be careful.
Don't worry about a thing. We got this.
One more thing. Monsters often try to sneak out from the domain. Keep a close watch on the entrance, and don't let any of them pass, or else...
Watanabe, trust in my judgment.
Yes, ma'am.
And off she goes.
Wow, she ain't playing, huh?
Well, she is leading an army after all. Okay, let's get over to the entrance. It's just a piece of paper. It looks like a little paper figure. Is it a talisman? Maybe one of the samurai dropped it.
A paper figure, huh? Reminds me of the Shikigami they talk about in the legends. Yeah, I spent a lot of time looking into legends from all over Tibet. Well, they give me inspiration for my lyrics. They say in Inazuma there are paper cutouts imbued with magical power that follow their masters wherever they go. Some of them can banish evil, repel monsters, or even protect your home.
Sounds a bit like all that sigil and adepti art stuff they have over in Liyue. What? Paimon is a professional Tibet travel guide and your best friend! Let's see your fighting origami do that!
Wait, look! The Shikigami, it's moving!
Hey there, little paper guy. Can you hear us? Can you talk?
Where am I? Did I faint? Oh no. Wait! Did you see the monsters that escaped from here? Where did they go?
Well, there were monsters around here, all right. But we took care of all of them.
Thank you. And thank goodness they didn't manage to escape. I'd never forgive myself if someone got hurt.
Are you a Shikigami? Those monsters, you didn't let them out, right?
To my knowledge, Shikigami are all about defeating monsters. So what's your story?
My name is Shiki Taishou, and I'm sorry you have to see me like this on our first meeting. This domain is called the Mystic Onmyo Chamber. I'm the overseer in charge here. The Mystic Onmyo Chamber has been in an extended slumber, just as I have. However, a few days ago, under the influence of an unknown power, all the monsters in the domain were suddenly awakened, and the door was opened. Actually, it seems like I may have suffered some memory loss in the process. All I remember is waking up to a living nightmare. I tried my best to stop them. I was surprised to see the monsters turn into paper charms when they were defeated. That's when I remembered that they must also be Onmyodo creations, and form part of this Onmyo chamber, like me.
Onmyoto Creations? I don't follow.
I'm sorry. I can't give you a clear explanation right now. Me? My sincere apologies. I am a Shikigami, but all I know is that I'm the overseer responsible for this domain. I can't remember who my master is, or why I was created in the first place. I'm a failure.
You mean you don't even know if you're one of the good guys? Aw. Hey, don't worry. Paimon heard that those with memory loss sometimes start to remember things when they return to a familiar place. Why don't you try going back into the domain?
I was just about to try that. I still have many unanswered questions, but one thing I'm certain of is that my powers originate from this domain. We might even be one and the same. For some reason, I have a feeling that I should be able to completely control it.
If Shikigami are supposed to help with banishing evil and repelling monsters, you were probably stationed here to guard the entrance. As for your memory loss, did you ever hear those stories? You know, the one where someone loses their memory and forgets about the incredible powers they had? Once they remember, they become invincible again!
Actually, I was just thinking along those lines. Do you think you all can help me out?
The most urgent task is helping you to remember, right? Once your memory's back, you might be able to control the domain again and stop any more monsters from escaping!
Traveler, can I borrow you for a second? This Shiki Taishou has only just woken up and it's lost part of its memory. Do you trust it? Well, if it really is a guardian of the domain, then we're in good company. But if it's not... Exactly. We shouldn't make any foregone conclusions, but we still gotta be careful. Besides, we still don't know who built this domain or why there are so many monsters inside. We need to get more of an understanding. Paimon, on the other hand, seems to trust it quite a bit. I guess she's still a child at heart. Hold on there, Paimon. Let's get a grasp of the situation before we get too hasty.
I understand. Between my mysterious memory loss and my link to this Onmyo chamber, it's normal for you to have your doubts.
Why don't you let me test your sincerity?
Sincerity? Ooh, sounds like something interesting is about to happen.
You may not believe it, but music lovers like myself are able to use a special kind of language that isn't used by ordinary folks. This language can be transmitted to others in the form of music itself.
Ooh, special language! Paimon wants to hear it!
It's an honest language that touches the true depths of the heart. I'll be using this language to perform a test to see if our friend Shiki Taishou here is truly trustworthy.
Music? That's not something I have much experience with. But I'm willing to accept any trials you deem necessary. All I want to do is take care of the crisis at hand.
All right. Well then listen up and look lively. Hope your spines ain't shivering too much.
But you only played one song. Is that enough for the test?
The language I spoke was hidden in the music. You won't notice it, but it'll find its way into your heart and expand your mind. Every soul reacts differently to this kind of language. Just tell me how it made you feel, and I'll tell you the color of your soul.
What? That sounds amazing!
A kind heart? A heart forced into evil deeds? A heart closed off from having grown used to misfortune? All of them come in different colors. So, Shiki Taishou, tell me, what did my music make you feel?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand. I've never heard music like this before, so it's impossible for me to grasp the hidden intricacies. What I can say is that my body and soul, if I have a soul, has been uplifted by your melody. I can see the world that you described. I'm not sure how to put it, but it felt like I was wandering aimlessly on a path with a mist all around me. It felt like I was wounded, and my head was aching. There were sounds coming from beyond the mist that frightened me, and I worried I was about to be swallowed by some hidden danger. But all I could do was continue forward. I didn't know where my destination was, but it felt like someone was waiting there for me.
Wow, that's a lot of feels for a piece of paper. Maybe Paimon failed the test. All Paimon could think of was a bunch of people eating grilled fish.
Grilled fish. I think I saw something similar to that. I was grilling fish with people whose faces I couldn't make out. There was a fire at the end of the mist. People were sitting around with freshly caught fish on bamboo skewers. I transformed into an actual person. I was having dinner with them. And yet, I had the feeling that I'd be leaving and continuing on my way again once the sun rose.
An endless journey. And there wasn't any fighting. Mighty interesting. So my melody didn't conjure up any thoughts of fighting for you?
Oh. Should it have?
No. You gave a great answer. I had a few friends listen to that tune before as well. Your answer really reminded me of theirs. As far as songs go, it's pretty complex with a lot of twists and turns, but the image you had prevailed the whole way through. You must be very similar to those friends of mine.
Are you talking about Xiangling and Beidou?
That's right. I'll wager you're a like-minded being. Based on your answer, I'm willing to trust you.
Really? I was just trying to describe how I felt. I didn't think you'd be able to trust me so quickly.
That's because this is all still mysterious to you. I have no doubt about the language of music. It tells me who I can trust. Music ain't bound to anything. It's free in the truest sense of the word. Shiki Taishou, to me, out of all the things you could have thought of, the images you landed on make me feel like we were supposed to run into you.
Thank you very much, young lady.
No need to thank me. Trusting you is an extension of my belief in my musical intuition. Not to strum my own chord or anything. Well, this is all just my own opinion, and everyone's entitled to theirs. But for the moment, it seems like we're all in the same boat either way. Traveler, I hope you can see to allowing Shiki Taishou to tag along for now.
I will never forget the kindness you've all shown me. I'm certain I can be of help to you. If only I can regain my memories.
Oh, enough of that. We're not helping you because we need something from you. The most important thing now is to prepare ourselves for what lies ahead. Traveler, we better get combat ready. Let's see what this here domain has to offer. Maybe we can take care of everything before Madame Kujo Sara gets back.
For adventurers at our level, there isn't a domain out there that we can't handle.
Strange. The Mystic Omnio Chamber doesn't look special in any way.
True, but I can sense my power regenerating. I feel much better now.
Wait, look over there. Is there someone here already?
Someone inside the domain? I can't believe it. Who would choose to enter a domain like this one?
Oh, I was wondering who it could be, but it seems you. I heard your footsteps and thought, who in Tevat would set foot in such a dangerous domain?
Ah, it's you!
Then I heard your voice and, well, it all made sense. It's been a long time, Traveler. You're getting bolder.
Child, what are you doing here? The domain. Wait! Are you responsible for all this?
Child? He's on the tall side, isn't he?
Hello, miss. Tartaglia will do just fine.
Paimon will tell you who he is. He's someone who shows up before bad things happen.
Hey now, all this time apart and this is the greeting I get?
You know what Paimon's talking about. Wait. Xinyan doesn't know what Paimon's talking about. And knowing Xinyan, if she found out about Child's actions in Liyue... Oh, boy.
Interesting attire, but I think she's a Liyue girl. Now then, perhaps I should just be up front.
How about this?
Actually, I want to start by...
This is an adventurer we befriended in Mondstadt. Child is just a nickname we gave him.
Huh?
Tartaglia here is always messing stuff up. Even when the dangers are obvious, he just recklessly charges in. Something an adventurer should never do. So we get a little annoyed with him sometimes.
Yes. I couldn't have put it better myself. I too am an adventurer, and I've caused my fair share of trouble for Paimon and the Traveler here, for which I'm unfathomably sorry.
Oh, so you're a Mondstadter. Pleasure to meet you. I'm from Liyue myself. The name's Xinyan, and the name of the game is rock and roll.
The pleasure's all mine. So, are you here to explore the domain too?
That's right. We're trying to find out why the monsters here are so active. According to Shiki Taishou here, this domain is known as the Mystic Onmyo Chamber. There are lots of dangerous monsters inside that were created using Onmyodo.
A domain that lets its monsters escape into the outside world. What forces are at play here? As for me, I stumbled in almost by accident, but now I'm curious about this mystery. We adventurers don't rest until the truth comes to light. It's in our nature. So, do you mind if I join you guys? I can offer my aid in return. If you haven't heard, I'm pretty handy in a fight.
Traveler, what do you think?
You're not going to reject me, are you? Oh, don't be so cruel, Traveler. You know how strong I am. Now we're talking.
Another addition to the Shiki Taishou memory hunting crew. There's strength in numbers.
I'm assuming Shiki Taishou is the little paper fellow here, right? A simple yet captivating design. And look at the little face. I bet my brother would love one.
Is he complimenting me?
Yeah, take it as a compliment.
All right. Why don't I bring our new companion up to speed?
You said that you're the overseer here, but I didn't see you when I entered. That must mean you were already unconscious by the time I arrived, correct?
I believe so.
Well, brother, maybe if you'd have slowed down a little bit, you would have noticed.
Brother? That's a very intimate way of addressing someone. I like it. You remind me of my little sister. So, according to the information we have, it's very possible that Shiki Taishou is the guardian of this domain. I'm sure we'll find out the truth of that soon enough. Shiki Taishou also says that its power has been regenerating ever since it set foot here. It might even be able to absorb more power the further in we go.
Shiki Taishou, can you remember anything yet? Or do you feel different in any way?
They say that everything about Shikigami is derived from magic. Perhaps the more powerful our friend here becomes, the more likely it is that they'll recover their memories.
Now that I've been here a little while, I have a vague sense that I should be able to control certain parts of this domain. Overseers are supposed to have that ability.
I've taken care of the monsters in this room. They all turned into tattered paper charms when I defeated them. That was some exhilarating combat, but I'm afraid I can't seem to find a way to progress further. Shiki Taishou, as our resident overseer, do you have any tricks up your sleeve?
Allow me to give it a try.
What in tarnation? The door opened!
Anyone else getting the creeps here? It looks real eerie. Someone else go in front. Child, how about you?
It's the scent of monsters, the aroma of battle. The monsters here are strong. Fierce fighting awaits us, but I wouldn't have it any other way. You guys should learn to see the fun side of combat.
I don't care how strong they are. They'll be ashes when I'm finished with them.
Make sure you guys protect us! Especially Paimon.
I hear something. An echo. This place. Yes, this used to be my dominion. I should be able to do more than just open doors and activate mechanisms here. Fight. I should know how to fight. Everyone, I've just remembered some combat techniques. Please, allow me to assist you in battle with Shikifuda and Onmyodo.
Sakura Swirl!
Not bad. That was some perilous action. I've experienced close calls like that before.
No surprise to see Child enjoying himself. Do you really enjoy fighting that much?
Of course. I relish this kind of endless fighting. Putting your life on the line, giving your all, and leaving nothing on the battlefield.
I guess bringing Child along does have its advantages. We're making quick work of these monsters.
Hey, watch your step! What is that? This paper cutout looks just like Shiki Taishou.
I know what this is. It's a replica of me. A mass-produced Shikigami based on my design. It has my power, and possibly a portion of my memories. I should fuse with it.
How was it? What'd you see?
Harunosuke.
Harunosuke?
My master, Kamuna Harunosuke. He was the first Onmyoji of Inazuma and a master of charm magic. He created me and this domain, and lived here in seclusion for a very long time.
Huh. So it was your master that created this place.
But what was his reason behind creating you in the domain?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure of that myself just yet.
Perhaps he was passionate about Onmyodo? Maybe when he discovered how strong he was, he decided to create a place like this to hone his abilities, to become even stronger.
It's possible. Those obsessed with certain disciplines are often capable of incredible feats. Perhaps that was the case with Kamuna Harunosuke. Onmyodo may have been everything to him, so he created a domain to train in. But he couldn't foresee that something would go wrong with the domain, that he would lose control of the Onmyodo, and that his Shikigami would turn into monsters.
What? Shikigami can turn into monsters?
That's not possible, right? That could be bad news for us.
I'm just shooting in the dark here. If the monsters weren't originating from the Shikigami or paper charms, where were they coming from? The Inazuman authorities must have caught wind of this place and sent people here to seal it off, sending Shiki Taishou into a deep sleep in the process.
No. Even though I still can't recall what he looked like, or how it felt to be in his company, there is one thing I'm certain of. With his ability, there's no way Kamuna would have made an error like this with his Onmyodo. More importantly, I'm sure he wouldn't have been so irresponsible.
Oh, really? Well then, that leaves us with the worst assumption of all. What if Kamuna Harunosuke is evil, and created this domain to enhance his own Onmyodo, What if he succeeded in creating monsters that could become weapons? That would make him a problem, and you would be his accomplice.
Evil? Accomplice? Using monsters as weapons?
Easy, Red. Isn't it a little early to be jumping to conclusions? Shiki Taishou passed my test and earned my trust. I don't like the way you're talking.
Hey, I'm merely making inferences based on Shiki Taishou's memories. I'm not trying to cast doubt on him, and it's true that we don't have any decisive evidence. But we do need to understand the situation here. Besides, is being used as a weapon really that bad? Alright, the next room should be through that door. Let's see if we can find more of Shiki Taishou's replicas and help him restore his memories. Who knows, we may even find Kamuna Harunosuke himself somewhere further in. I wonder how strong of a fighter he is. I'd like to go a few rounds with him.
Let's keep moving forward.
Huh? How do we get back out here? Wasn't that door meant to take us to the next room?
Uh-oh. Where's Shiki Taishou and Red? Oh, are they still in the domain? No, no. We can't get back in. It's stopping outsiders from entering.
What's that rumbling? Can you feel it? Maybe some kind of mechanism is activated inside.
No, this ain't good. We can't make any hasty decisions. Traveler, Paimon, let's just wait it out for a minute.
Hey!
Huh? Kujisara, you're back so soon.
Not soon enough. We spent a long time chasing those monsters down. They were cunning and surprisingly good at evading us. How are things looking here?
Actually...
No other monsters have emerged since we defeated the ones at the entrance. However, strange noises keep coming from inside the domain. Something big must be happening, but we reckon it might be too dangerous to enter. We're waiting for the noises to stop before going in to investigate.
I can sense a power is resisting us. We've already expended a lot of strength intercepting those monsters. Investigating the truth of this domain would be difficult. We need to be fully prepared.
Ma'am, it's not looking good for the wounded soldiers, but we came across a few scattered monsters on the way back. If I may be so bold, we need you to bring up the rear and escort the wounded back to the city.
I suppose it can't be helped. I'll send the wounded back to Inazuma City and dispatch an elite force here. You've already been a great help. Please, return to the city with us.
Well, that's mighty kind, Madam Cujo, but we're not out of strength yet. In fact, we've plenty to go around. We can keep taking care of things here. You do what you gotta do. We'll keep a close eye on the entrance for you.
I'm very grateful.
Well, if we're gonna help someone, we're gonna help them all the way through to the end.
Yeah, we can get a fire going and eat some grilled fish while you're away.
I just got a wave of new inspiration. I'm gonna write a song about this daredevil trip to Inazuma.
We at the Tenryou Commission will forever remember your contributions to our cause. I'll be sure to reward each and every one of you properly once this is all over. For now, I leave this domain in your hands. Please keep a careful watch. Watanabe will be stationed in the area. Be sure to alert him if anything unexpected happens.
Shinyan, did you leave out the part about us entering the domain on purpose? Don't think Paimon didn't notice.
You got me. Well, I bet you were fixing to do the same, huh? There's still a lot we don't know about the domain. If we get the authorities involved, we might end up with more problems than we started with. Now, let me be clear. I ain't biased in favor of Shiki Taishou. It's just, those memories are really important to him. Before we find out the truth about his origin, we shouldn't go making assumptions. Yeah, and it's a terrible feeling to be misunderstood. I would know. Sometimes people are too ready to judge a book by its cover and don't have the patience to read the pages. Sometimes a glance is all it takes. And once someone's misunderstood, they got a hell of a job trying to change people's minds. Rock and roll is great music, but it's also easily misunderstood. I made a friend of Shiki Taishou as soon as he heard the language I was speaking. I need to find my own way of helping him. That's right. We're gonna have to prove Shiki Taishou's innocence before she returns. I need to ask a favor. Can you guys keep the Tenryou Commission's campaign against the domain a secret from Shiki Taishou?
You're really considerate, Xinyan. You really care about Shiki Taishou's memory loss.
Could I call myself a friend if I didn't? Huh? There's that noise again. Let me take a look.
Wait! Paimon wants to take a look too! So you really think we should tell him? Then again, if he turns on us when we lay it all out there, Paimon will have your back! There's no way we're losing to a tiny paper cutout, not on Paimon's watch!
Traveler, come quick!
I failed again.
Shiki Taishou, are you okay?
I'm fine. I had to use up some of my power just now to counter the resistance from within the domain. The door just now must have actually been a disguised mechanism. As soon as anyone touches it, all the rooms inside the Onmyo chamber are rearranged. It seems that no one can enter during the transition. It's all my fault. If only I could exert real control over the domain, we wouldn't be in this situation.
There's no need to go blaming yourself. By the way, where's Child? He's not still inside, is he?
I couldn't say, but that man possesses an incredible aura. He's unlike any ordinary person. He enjoys fighting and knows no fear of it. Maybe someone like that really can succeed in conquering this domain.
He's a troublemaker, but he could be in serious danger right now. We can't let him perish in there. He's the strongest on the team.
He was hardly breaking a sweat in there. I think we should have faith in his abilities. As much as I hate sitting around, if even Shiki Taishou can't get back in, there's not much we can do right now. Well, while we're waiting, I'm gonna think about my song. Shiki Taishou, you want to listen to some new music?
I'd love to. But my mind is restless.
But you're just a piece of paper. Are you really more restless than we are?
Trust me when I say that I'm well aware of the risks you're taking to help me. The experiences, battles, and injuries you've gone through in the domain are all my responsibility.
Us Liyue folk are all about maintaining a tranquil mind. Things will only get worse if you let frustration take a hold of you. But there are some things in life that resist the more you try to repress them, that make for freedom the more you try to tie them down. That's the kind of tenacity that gets me fired up.
You're talking about things like rock and roll, right?
Right on! It's powerful yet flexible, with a stubbornness that never surrenders to the challenges ahead. That's the existence I strive for.
I see. Then let us wait for the opportune moment together, Miss Xinyan.
Now that's more like it. Well, Traveler, if you got other matters to attend to, let's split up for the meantime. We can rendezvous somewhere close by when the domain is open again. Traveler, Paimon! Kujo Sara's arrived. She's right over there.
What's with all the rushing back and forth? Guess she doesn't trust us after all. She sure does seem on high alert.
The situation's getting complicated. Let's have a word with her first.
Thank you again for your help this entire time. I've brought reinforcements. It would seem that the most critical moments are behind us, so from here on out, if we can hold this path, we should be able to repel the monsters. If any do escape, we can corner them in the Araumi region. The loud noises we heard earlier were probably the result of large numbers of mechanisms. We're ready and waiting for an opportunity to storm the domain.
Why don't you station troops closer to the domain?
In our last operation, our samurai didn't think to maintain a certain distance. When the monsters suddenly attacked, they had no choice but to beat a hasty retreat. Once is an oversight, twice would be a grave error. I won't allow such things to happen again.
Oh, Paimon gets it now.
I will return to the Kujo encampment and plan our defenses for the other regions. It took some time, but the Tenryou Commission has assumed full control of this area. With all my heart, I thank the three of you for your assistance. Your promised rewards are not forgotten. Miss Xinyan, please take this letter. Enclosed is a travel permit that I processed personally for you. I applied for the longest duration available. I hope you can use it this time to really get to know Inazuma. I've also arranged your accommodation. Simply follow the instructions in the letter when you're back in the city.
Oh, wow. Free boarding and unlimited travels across Inazuma. I don't know what to say.
It's the least I can do.
Thank you, ma'am. I know you're real busy, but if you do get a day off and I'm still here in Inazuma, please come and see one of my street performances.
I must tell you that I never did develop much of a taste for songs and music. But given everything you've done for the Tenryou Commission, I will certainly attend your performance if the opportunity arises.
Well, that's Xinyan's biggest worry taken care of.
Not quite. My biggest worry is still Shiki Taishou. What comes next has nothing to do with me. As a friend, I must go back and help. Not to mention Red. Traveler, we gotta go back and save him, right? Then let's go. We'll need to meet up with Shiki Taishou in secret first.
Xinyan, Traveler, Paimon. A general just passed through here. She was leading a team to investigate the area.
Her name is Kujo-Sara. She's from the Tenryou Commission.
Kujo-Sara? Why haven't I heard of her? I think I remember hearing the name of the Supreme Commander of the Tenryou Commission once. It was a man called Kujo... something. What was it again? I can't remember his name, but I do remember that Haranosuke played chess with him.
Haranosuke sounds like someone important.
Let's save the chit-chat for later. We need to sneak back into the Onmyo chamber before anyone sees us.
Oh, right. We still gotta find Child. Let's go.
All right. Everyone, follow me.
Oh, here you are.
So, is this everyone? You guys had me waiting for quite some time. Let me tell you, you missed out on some incredible action. Quite the pity.
Look at this guy. Not a scratch on him.
Were you guys worried about me? You must have a lot of faith in my abilities. As a comrade and old rival, you should know that unexpected combat situations are my bread and butter. Anyway, when the domain was rearranging itself, the rooms were moving up and down. The monsters were scattered all over the place. I had so much fun fighting them these last few days. I even came across a few replicas. They should contain more power and memories.
Better late than never. Hurry up and fuse with them, Shiki Taishou.
The residual power in these replicas is limited. I can only regain a fraction of my memories.
Not enough? Then I guess it's on with the plan. We need to venture deeper into the domain.
Wait, the domain already rearranged itself. The route we discovered is useless now.
Don't worry too much. There's a pattern to the rearrangement. I should be able to find the way. If I'm not mistaken, we should head in that direction.
Wait a second. Paimon has a question. Shiki Taishou, didn't you just say that the power left in the replicas wasn't enough? You still don't have all your memories. So how would you know if you were heading in the right direction? Last time when we followed you through that door, we were sent out of the domain, which means not all the doors in this place are real. What if you still can't tell the difference? We might end up somewhere super dangerous.
I can completely understand your reservations. Unfortunately, I'm still unable to give you a compelling answer. Would you believe it if I said that it's an intuition I have as the overseer here?
Not really.
I can see why you're worried, Paimon, but our only option is to trust Shiki Taishou as our guide. Otherwise, all we can do is stand here and wait. Besides, we'll be even more lost as the domain rearranges itself again.
You seem to be more anxious this time around. Let me guess. Trouble on the outside? As far as I understand it, Inazuma's situation is still far from stable. A domain like this would likely fall under the Tenryou Commission's jurisdiction, but they're spread too thinly at present. There's a lot that still falls outside of their control. Which means that you guys are here as support, and it's very likely that the Tenryou Commission made the request. So, you're receiving their orders. In that case, knowing their style, they're probably planning a lethal assault on the domain to crush everything in their path. If we don't find Shiki Taishou's memories before that happens, then it's possible we never will. Hence the increased anxiety, right?
Is this all part of your scheme?
It's true, there are indeed matters that I'm investigating, but it's not what you might think. We can talk about that later. Let's make sure we deal with our own problems first. Now then, Traveler, you and I are hardly strangers, and I see no reason for me to lie to you. After arriving in Inazuma, I discovered monster tracks in the surrounding areas, and so I followed them into the domain. It would appear that this place is some sort of combat training ground. There's nothing but fighting and slaughter to be had here. Needless to say, it's been an enjoyable experience for me. I feel quite at home. This may come as an unpleasant surprise to Miss Xinyan and Shiki Taishou, but I'm not someone who cares for allegiance and affiliation. Good and evil, right and wrong, duty and destiny. Are these things really so important? Are they really more appealing than the euphoria of battle and close combat?
You got fighting in your veins, that's for sure. Well, brother, what is it you're trying to say?
Nothing in particular, but I am telling you that we should venture forward bravely. Don't fear the monsters that lie ahead. If you're not up to the task, I will happily take your place in crushing all that come before us. Then the burden of the slaughter will be mine and mine alone. Because fighting is what I'm best at.
Don't look at Paimon! We're going, okay? We're going!
This room is very close to the deepest part of the Onmyo chamber. Haranosuke and I remember we spent a long time here. We would watch martial artists from all over Inazuma. They would drink here and celebrate, shouting, "Now we too have the power to defeat the strongest monsters."
So you and Kamina Haranosuke brought samurai here to eradicate monsters?
That is one possibility, among many. Perhaps it was all just a ploy by Haranosuke. Maybe recruiting those samurai and ordering them to eradicate the monsters was all in aid of regaining control of the Onmyo chamber.
Huh. Sounds a lot like something Tartaglia would say.
Hey, I can have positive assumptions too, you know.
I'm just trying to make a logical guess. I don't mean to offend anyone. My memory is still incomplete, but there's less and less gaps to fill. Soon, it should be fully restored. What's more, I sense that if we continue forward, we might just come face to face with Haranosuke himself.
But this Onmyo chamber
Wait, Traveler, you're not about to...
Looking at your expressions, this must be something serious.
We don't need to get too serious though, right? It's eerie enough down here without adding more tension into the mix. Let Paimon say it. Alright, here goes. In the very beginning, all we heard was that monsters had escaped from a domain. We came straight here along with Samurai from the Tenryou Commission. When we met you, you didn't know anything about the domain or where you came from, and we believed you. We had our reservations, but we trusted Xinyan. She took you at your word, and we decided to work together. As we ventured deeper and deeper into the domain, it seemed like truth was just around the corner. But even now, we still can't be sure whether this domain was created for evil ends. You never know what you'll find in a chest until you open it. And now we've arrived at that moment. We need to be ready for whatever it contains.
I don't like seeing folks forced into a corner like this. But it's like the Traveler says. We gotta be ready to take responsibility for each other.
I see. So the time has come for me to make a choice. Until now, I had my doubts about why you had decided to help me throughout all this. Even if we've only spent a few days fighting in each other's company, we should have no reason to hide anything. I'm afraid that barring new information, it's impossible for me to make any guarantees. I want to believe in Haranosuke, but after all these years, perhaps he's changed. Maybe my memories were never real to begin with. I am just a Shikigami, created by an onmyoji, with nothing more than a few fragmented memories to my name. The four of you are all I have. Our bond is one of trust. My bond with Haranosuke is one of responsibility. As my creator, I have a duty to follow him. And if he does turn out to be evil, then my destiny will be his to control. If I am able, I wish to retain the kindness in my heart until the very end. But a weapon cannot betray its master's will. If he was able to create me, then he is able to control me. So, if Haranosuke and I go on to cause harm to others, I trust that you will provide a fitting end for the two of us.
Great! Leave all the heartbreaking decisions for us, why don't you? Still, that was an honest and inspiring speech. Good enough for Paimon. What do you think?
Wait, were you two planning this line of questioning all along?
Not bad at all. You were testing to see whether there were still missing fragments from Shiki Taishou's memory. Ah, you've grown, Traveler.
What do you mean, testing? This was all an orchestrated collaboration, successful teamwork. It's like Xinyan said, she has her way of confirming trustworthiness, and we have ours. Besides, this was a chance to let Shiki Taishou know that even if he's still unsure of the big picture, we're still willing to place our trust in him.
Shiki Taishou refrained from claiming an allegiance, which sounds like the actions of a real comrade to me. Warning us of the potential threat was an act of true responsibility.
Well, I'm also a terrible liar. But thank you for opening up to my honesty.
Well, even good guys lie and manipulate at times, and bad guys have their own doubts and misgivings. The fact that you were able to give an answer so cruel to yourself could only mean that you've truly made up your mind.
It's just like Xinyan said. What was it you said again?
Could you give me a hint?
Oh, got it! It's an honest language that touches the truest depths of the heart.
Word for word, huh? Your memory ain't so bad after all, Paimon.
Well then, has our pre-combat session concluded? If so, let's get going.
Shiki Taishou, try not to worry. We're here for you.
I know. And I will do my best not to cause you guys any trouble.
Trouble's fine, as long as we can win in the end.
Before we get ahead of ourselves, we need to be ready for an even worse scenario. Imagine if this door isn't the way to the innermost depths of the domain, but just another mechanism.
Shut up! Don't jinx it!
I'm just exploring the what-ifs. There's no guarantee that it won't happen, right?
Unfortunately, if that is the case, I don't think I'll be able to prevent it in my current state. I'm sorry, but I still don't have full control over this place yet.
Personally, I wouldn't really mind. This place is a combat haven. It can rearrange itself another 10 times for all I care.
Paimon isn't listening! You can have fun here by yourself when all this is over!
Well, if the domain does rearrange itself again, you should watch your backs and try and stick together.
And you'll be off on another solo combat mission, I assume.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'll be making the most of it.
Darn it! We've been kicked out again!
No, we need to make sure Red keeps his mouth shut next time. His jinxes are right on Lamora.
Paimon's sick of this domain! Kamina Haranosuke is a scaredy cat. He's too afraid to face us.
Still, it's lucky that Red and Shiki Taishou remained inside. This place is crawling with Tenryou Commission samurai. Well, same as before, I guess. Let's wait for the domain to rearrange and then go find them. Until then, we should stay hidden. We wouldn't want the Tenryou Commission to see us wandering around.
Next time, we have to chase Kamina out of his hiding spot.
So common.
Traveler, I found out some good news from the garrison forces. Kujo-Sara has been tied down with work in the city. Nothing seems to be going on with her troops for now. Besides that, we haven't had any new monsters escape the domain for quite some time, and the troops have complete control of the pass. I don't think they're in a hurry to attack the domain right now. Seems we got more time than we bargained for.
Then let's get going. Those two must be getting impatient.
Oh, you're back.
Okay, now that we're all here, what do you say we get to the bottom of this?
You two look like you've been through a war.
Just one war? I've lost count of how many battles we've had down here. I did okay, right, Shiki Taishou?
Mr. Tartaglia is no stranger to domains. He was able to deal with even the most powerful monsters with ease. I am confident that we can make it to the innermost depths of the domain.
Huh, you two seem to have gotten much closer over the last few days.
Well, we fought shoulder to shoulder for quite a while now. All right, listen up. During the rearrangement, Shiki Taishou said he could sense the most important replica over there.
Compared with the other replicas, it should contain a far greater power within. If I can fuse with it successfully, I should be able to remember the truth of this domain.
It's right there? Then how come you guys haven't gone over yet?
Shiki Taishou, were you waiting for us this whole time?
Without your companionship, I never would have made it this far. My memories were only retrieved thanks to everyone's efforts. I feel it's only right that you're here with me to witness this final and most important juncture. My memories, fragmented for so long, are finally complete. I remember it all now. The origin of the mystic Onmyo chamber. Its essence. This realm is not for practicing Onmyodo, nor is it for harnessing evil. The reason Haranosuke created me and the domain, our sole purpose, was to protect.
Protect?
Our nation was once attacked by a great evil, and a person of importance to Haranosuke was taken from him. He was filled with hatred and regret, and began yearning for the strength to take on the evil himself. He made his way across the ocean to seek the Adepti of Liyue, and went on to study the Adepti arts. He combined those subtle techniques with the art of transcension that he himself had practiced over the years, and founded the earliest version of Onmyodo. Later, he rallied all samurai with the will to serve in protecting the nation, and created me and this Onmyo chamber. With me as a template, he would create many replicas, assigning each to a samurai. The samurai and Shikigami were partners, combining their martial prowess and charm magic to take on monsters with great efficiency. They worked in pairs and set out to rid the land of monsters. Information on the defeated monsters would be recorded within the Shikigami. Upon returning to the domain, that information would be channeled into the creation of mirror monsters, training targets for the samurai. As the first Shikigami, I was constantly absorbing the knowledge and experiences of the replicas. I was able to improve the structure of the domain and provide better training for the samurai. Over time, these dedicated samurai were able to achieve an enviable martial prowess. A new batch of recruits would arrive as the last group left the domain. The cycle of new knowledge and new opponents seemed to be never-ending.
No wonder the fighting never stops here. This was a training ground to begin with.
In other words, Kamuna Haranosuke built this Onmyo chamber to train samurai to fight monsters? Doesn't that make him a pretty great guy?
Well, if that's the case, why is he hiding away in the depths of the domain?
No, Haranosuke is no longer here. For reasons unknown, Haranosuke disbanded the samurai and abandoned the domain. This part of my memory is still fragmented. I can't remember what Haranosuke said to me before he left.
Left? Meaning he's still alive?
It's possible, and I hope he is. I am a weapon created by Haranosuke. The purpose of the Onmyo chamber, my purpose, is to facilitate combat, to train myself and others. But this domain was abandoned. The only people to have come here since are yourselves. What use does a weapon discarded by its owner have to offer?
This is really tough for Shiki Taishou.
A discarded weapon. Discarded or not, what's so bad about being a weapon? All those who stalk the battlefield yearn for meaning and value.
Do you think so?
You were interested in my secret, right? Why is it that I'm able to withstand the resistance of the domain? Why is it that I'm able to face down complex battles with ease? I have fought in the fissures that lie between great tree roots. Boundless danger, fatal encounters. These are the ingredients I use to become stronger still. It is not victory that I seek, but improvement. I want to become sharp as a blade, to the point where others fear me. You're not the only weapon here, Shiki Taishou.
If that's true, then these battles you strive for, where do they end?
Only those that wish for an end will find one. For me, it's nothing more than a mirage. I was born to fight, and as long as I draw breath, there will be no end to my purpose. My limits vanish behind the horizon with every step that I take. Let go of your confusion. Sorrow and hesitation are the enemy of an implacable weapon.
What must I do to let go?
Don't worry. You don't have to abandon something to succeed in letting go. You don't have to abandon anything, Shiki Taishou. You've only just regained your memories. This is the perfect opportunity to pick up where you left off. All you gotta do is find the thing that was most important and righteous to you.
Most important and righteous?
Yep, for me, it's rock and roll. It's not everyone's cup of tea. In fact, I'd say it's kinda unpopular, really. But if it makes me happy, that's all that matters. What do I care if someone doesn't share my passion? All I need to worry about is doing what I enjoy. So if people want to roll their eyes or give me the cold shoulder, they can have at it. My music was never meant for those that couldn't understand it.
I still remember your test. The song you played for me.
You said that you were walking alone, that you spent time in the company of others eating grilled fish by a fire. Your answer was filled with an understanding of human emotion. We've all journeyed down a path of solitude at some point in our lives. Your presence there puts you in good company. You found us and joined us by the fire, and we became friends. The road ahead is difficult, but we're never alone. Shiki Taishou, this is the language in my music, and my reward for sticking to the path right for me. What about you? I know there'll be something calling out to you.
Miss Xinyan, I may not be able to harness the optimism you carry with you just yet. But I do know that my journey doesn't end here. Everyone, we continue on. I want to. No. I must retrieve the last replica and regain control of this domain. Yes, there has to be something left that only I am capable of doing.
That's more like it. Get ready, everyone. There's more fighting ahead. As long as we move forward together, there's nothing to worry about.
Master Kamina, over half our trained samurai are wounded, and our Shikigami losses are far greater than anticipated. Besides, the outside situation is beginning to stabilize. Do we really need to keep pursuing this ultimate attainment?
Why so apprehensive? This is all within my expectation.
Harunosuke, forgive my directness, but she's not coming back.
All I ever wanted was to assist her descendants and guard this territory. Now that our targets no longer exist, and those needing our protection are finally safe, then perhaps our sworn mission has indeed come to an end. I always believed that I would stand guard in this place forever, if time permitted. I almost fooled myself with such a notion. I hope you never make the same mistake.
Don't worry, Harunosuke. I know everything that you've done for Inazuma. Your efforts need not be judged by others. The same goes for my existence.
Bestowing you with intelligence, that you should know human emotion, it would seem this was the right decision. In the end, it is you that have enlightened me. Rosy-cheeked in the morning, bleached bones by dusk. How so very true. I have nothing left to keep me. Shiki Taishou, my friend, you have completed your assignment magnificently. As for me, I need wait no longer. I will set out again, in search of a new purpose.
Then this is farewell, Harunosuke. Be safe in your travels. I remember everything. Haranosuke didn't abandon me. It was I that persuaded him and helped him escape the labyrinth of his heart. Haranosuke didn't abandon me. I enlightened him. I helped him to release a burden shouldered for too long. Haranosuke had great aspirations for me and the mystic Onmyo chamber. But the truth is, perhaps we were an ill-timed creation. The samurai trained tirelessly and with promising results. And yet, the strength of mortals is bound by unforgiving limits. Our progress was too slow. Even as we trained, the god with the power of the Muso no Hitotachi swept across the land with a force of diligent and mighty warriors. They removed all hidden evils from our territory. And just like that, a life's work was rendered unnecessary. No one in this world is prepared when such sorrow befalls them.
Hyman can't begin to imagine how that feels, but we've definitely heard about similar cases.
I was lost, dejected, and doubted everything in sight. Still, the fruits of our labor and valiant efforts cannot be denied, even if they were overshadowed. Regardless, the aim that Haranosuke and the samurai sought had been achieved. The samurai no longer needed to devote their life to training. It should have been something to celebrate. But Haranosuke was a sentimental man. His affections were rooted in mortal desire, and he couldn't bear to let go of what he had lost. To protect was our shared ambition. And if the world was the object of Haranosuke's protection, then he was the object of mine. As his most prized creation and only friend in the mystic Onmyo chamber, I tried to persuade him. He told me that he wanted to set out again in search of a new purpose, that it may take him months, years, or even centuries. It didn't matter to me. All I wanted was for him to achieve that aspiration and to return to this place anew, and in the endless days of waiting, I fell into a deep slumber. Haranosuke, you're not coming back, are you?
Don't be upset, Shiki Taishou.
If Kamina Haranosuke learned the power of Adepti arts and Transcension, isn't it possible that he became immortal?
What I've come to realize is that regardless of whether he remains in this world, he shouldn't be the sole purpose of my existence. Meeting all of you helped me understand belief. I believe that Haranosuke is walking his own path now. And I believe that I too can find a path of my own. From birth, we begin to walk in solitude toward an inevitable end. But there are embers in the mist that welcome us, and friendships to be made under the night sky. Our assignment does not end because the journey is long. There was value in everything Haranosuke did, and my purpose is my assignment. That's something that will never change, nor will it be taken away from me. I am Shiki Taishou, the first Shikigami, ally of martial artists, and forevermore the overseer of the mystic Onmyo chamber. My duty is to assist fighters in reaching ultimate attainment. There will be others in this world attempting to scale the highest peak. I will gladly become a bridge between the mountains, a weapon that carries them through the clouds.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Wow! Full memory Shiki Taishou is a force to be reckoned with!
I've regained full control of the mystic Onmyo chamber. No mirror monsters will be able to escape this domain from now on. The crisis has been averted. In a few days' time, I'll be able to secure the charm magic network and restore the mystic Onmyo chamber to its original state. This place is an ever-changing yet reliable training ground. I will continue to stand guard here and provide training for anyone seeking ultimate attainment. The Tenryou Commission must already have made preparations to enter the domain by now. Please, leave the negotiations to me. When they arrive, I will explain the matter in its entirety.
So we don't have to deal with the nitty-gritty? Great! Paimon hates negotiations.
My thanks to all of you. Without you, I never would have been able to regain my true self. I've prepared a gift for you. It may not be enough to repay your kindness, but I hope it will come in handy.
A replica?
You can call it Shiki Kosho. Shiki Kosho is different to the other replicas. No matter where you go, it can maintain communication with me. It won't be able to use Shikifuda or charm magic outside of the mystic Onmyo chamber, but it can still provide you with protection. Bringing it with you on your travels is the same as having me by your side.
Shiki Taishou still sounds upset. Is he worried we won't meet again?
All right now. No more sadness, you hear me? We ain't left just yet. Besides, thanks to the Traveler, Kujo, Sara, and Beidou, getting over to Inazuma just got a whole lot easier. I might just have to start paying you a regular visit.
Miss Xinyan, wouldn't that take up too much of your time?
Well, let me ask you a question. What do you think of rock and roll?
Rock and roll. To me, it's wonderful music.
Then that's good enough for me. I only ever perform for people that can appreciate it anyway. Speaking of which, prepare your ears, y'all. It's about to get louder.
Huh? You're gonna perform right now? Wow! Paimon never realized how uplifting this number was! Wait, Tartaglia can dance, right? Let's get him to... Huh? Where'd he go? Hey, Tartaglia! Where do you think you're going? Trying to sneak off on us, huh?
Sneak off? I'm just looking for a place to put my feet up and muse for a while is all. Traveler, it's time I told you about my investigations. Still sharp as always. I do sometimes wonder if you can read minds. I had a lot of fun here. In fact, I really like Inazuma. As long as I don't dwell on minor problems and the trouble they cause. I originally came to this domain because I thought that it might have something to do with the balladeer. As it turns out, he's not here. Scaramouche is in possession of a certain gnosis, and we happen to have lost contact with him. I don't suppose it's a coincidence. Of course, it didn't surprise me in the slightest that Scaramouche would do something like this. My agenda as a Harbinger is to seek out combat, and nearly every Fatui Harbinger has an agenda of their own too. I'll let the Gnosis run for a while longer. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before you discover its whereabouts. When that time comes, Traveler, what will you choose to do? And where is your final destination? I wish I could stay here a while longer. The more time you spend somewhere, the more joy it brings you when you return. You're like the stars in the night sky, comrade. You never cease to surprise me.
Your music brings out a Miss Xinyan.
Oh, shucks. The next time we meet, I'll have even more rock and roll for you to feast your ears on.
traveler, Paimon. I explained the situation to the Tenryou Commission and showed them the original documentation. In the end, they believed that the mystic Onmyo Chamber and I were innocent.
Awesome! Does that mean you can start to focus on your original assignment again?
That's right. I've also restored the mystic Onmyo Chamber to its original state. A domain dedicated to honing martial prowess. With time, this domain may exhaust itself of charm magic. When that time comes, I will let it lie dormant so that power can gradually reaccumulate. Now might be a good time to give it a try. Are you up for the challenge?